Hey! Welcome to Castabout. I wanted to talk about the Nikko Winnow over here. When I first started bass fishing, I found swim baits and I loved that presentation. It was just so perfect. So I was talking to my Uncle Tim and his buddy Stan. Stan recommended I believe it was a Strike King Rage Swimmer, something like that. You know, the Strike King, the really popular swim bait from Strike King. Yeah, it was one of those with a weighted hook. Simple rig, but we called that the Stan rig. And we would throw that all the time. So yeah, quick shout out. Hey Uncle Tim, if you're watching this, it's probably 6 months after I posted it. And Stan, I don't know if you're watching. You might be, but yeah, if you are, hey, what's up? But the only frustrating part about those Strike Kings was those tails would get bit off all the time by these aggressive little bass coming up and not committing to the bite, but just nipping and tearing off that tail. So when Nikko released the Winnow, I was mad excited because I realized I would never lose a paddle tail to a little dink fish coming along and just nipping. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of my favorite rigs for the Winnows. First up, we got the Eco Pro Tungsten Swing Swim Jig. Big old mouthful, but that's one of my favorite baits to throw when the fish are looking for a more active presentation. Kind of do a quicker retrieve than some of the normal structure fishing stuff that I use, which is more hop along style, real slow. But I like to throw this up into cover. It seems to work pretty well coming through. And with the Winnow, it's got this little cavity here on the back where you can hide the hook. And I don't like texposing the Winnows. I've blown some hook sets by texposing these things because they're so tough that they don't want to let the hook go and pop out through the bait. So yeah, that little channel in the back of the Winnow is nice to keep it a little more weedless. Free swing and action on this one. So that is the Eco Pro Tungsten Swing Swim Jig. I actually managed to say that without stumbling on it. Okay. Oh, that is the bluegill color on the jig with the Fusion Winnow. Pretty good matchup. And just another colorway. That's the Lunar Winnow. And I believe that's the shad color. Something. I'll look that up and put it right down there. Now another way that I like to rig these things is the free rig. Probably seen this going around. You get this drop shot weight sliding freely along the line, and what you do is you throw that out and let the line go slack and let that weight sink to the bottom, and you've got your bait hanging out up here, and then you can slowly work your way down through the weight. And you can either go slow and work it sort of like a jerk bait, just tap 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 tap, or you can just work it down quick, swim straight down to the weight. And though it is less noisy than my usual approach out here in the dirty water, it still managed to get the job done. But there's a couple other modifications that I wanted to try to this rig, and one of those, hold on, I'll go grab. That's the Decoy Plus blade. I'm going to be giving that a shot when it starts getting warmer out. But what you do is you add that in front of your bait, so it looks like your bait's chasing an even smaller bait. So just to give it an extra little flash, I always have to be adding some kind of either flash or noise to my presentations, given that the creek out here is usually pretty muddy. So that's one thing I'm going to try on this free rig. Oh, but avoid those crimp style drop shot weights. I think in fact they've started making a free rig specific weight, but it's a little more expensive than some of the other round head styles that are available. So, you know, do I really want to spend the extra $1 or so on something just because it says specifically free rig? Probably going to be the same thing. But yeah, just avoid crimp style. it's not going to work. It's going to break you off. No good. And also, I'm going to try a heavier weight, because when I first bought this, I wasn't buying it to free rig, but it was the only circle style I had. But this is only an 1/8 ounce, and that's really not enough weight to get down quick enough. So I'm going to try 1/4 ounce next time. Yeah, that's another great way. You can explore different levels in the water column, top, mid, down at the bottom, varying retrieve speeds, all that. Very versatile rig. Okay, this next one is my favorite way to rig the Winnow. It's just so much fun throwing this thing around structure. No matter how much junk I throw this thing into, I can't ever seem to get it snagged. It'll happen one day, but it has not yet. This is the Strike King Bitsy flip jig. Just something about that. I love the whole presentation there. And that's the camouflage color from Strike King on the jig, and the eclipse color on the Winnow. Pretty good matchup. And then we've got the white, of course, which I haven't had as much occasion to use, but someday I'll find some clear water to throw that in. And then the one I've used the most is the pumpkin jig with the Fusion Winnow. And this is just so much fun to work around structure. And often what I'll do is bounce it right off a tree, let it ride down into the roots, and just hang out there and pop it on through, crawl over top of structure. This thing comes through all kind of laydowns out here in the creek. Comes through branches easy, over top of roots, all kind of mess, and this sucker always comes through. And I think I've actually got a clip that I can put in here where I did just that. Bounced right off a tree, straight down into the roots. We'll put that up right here. That felt like something there. I think it is. Yeah, we found you on that tree there, didn't we, son? That's that Winnow. A little flipping jig. Okay. Yeah, so that's the 3 rigs I've used the most on the Winnow. There's a couple others that will get honorable mentions here that I'll be planning to use when the season hits. The Owner Flashy Swimmer. Now, this one's been around for a little while. I used to think you would not be able to get the Winnow on a screw lock. You can, but it sure ain't easy. If you want something quick, just throw it on and go. Avoid screw locks at all costs. This takes a lot of convincing to get this little guy on here. But yeah, you can do it, but it's a pain. But yeah, I'll be trying that one out coming up here soon as well. Alright, so I recently got a big old box of Nikko stuff. All kinds of new stuff coming to the channel when it gets warm out. But some of those include limited edition Helgramite colors. Got that UV chartreuse and the magma. Also, got some leeches in that morning dawn color. And another one I'm going to be trying. This one's been around on Nikko for a while. So we're going to try out these Ikonago minnows on a Nikko rig. This top guy's already got the weight up in his mouth. So subscribe down below if you want to see how all that works out. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time as always. Slap a like on the video if you found any of this helpful. What are some of y'all's favorite rigs for the Winnow? Share that with me down below in the comments. I'm always looking to try new stuff. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Whoa. Hey, one more thing. I was editing the video and I looked down at my tackle box and realized I gotta show that. I'm gonna be trying that soon. Winnow on a spinnerbait. Okay, for real. Done this time. Hold on. Gonna do the subscribe thing there and check out those videos. Okay, all done. Swear.